I wish I was a millionaire. Hot dog! That's right, everybody. We're going to be talking about It's a Wonderful Life. It's Christmas time. We're getting in the Christmas spirit. It's all snowy around us. The jingles are belling and all that stuff.
And it's despite it being black and white, it's really colorful too.
Yes, it is actually quite colorful here. Right here on Mallard Matinee. Hello everybody, welcome back to Mallard Matinee. Yes, it is December, so we gotta talk about some of the Christmas movies that are out there. And you know what? The two Christmas movies that we're doing this year, neither of us have actually seen before.
Until now.
This is the first time we've ever watched them. So this is fresh eyes. There's no nostalgia to this. This isn't something that we've seen 100 times. Brand new to us. And they're old movies. Neither are new movies. But before we get too far into what we're gonna be watching, let's introduce ourselves, starting with yourself.
I am Lewis Lightning. I watch a whole bunch of movies with Country Boy, and I mean, my favorite Christmas movie is probably Muppet Christmas Carol, but these are pretty good movies. We'll get to them then. They're pretty good movies, these ones themselves.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd say that they're classics in their own right. Yeah. But I am Country Boy. I haven't introduced myself yet. And we love Christmas movies. We love movies, and we love certain Christmas movies, and I think this one kind of fits under that belt quite well. But before we get into too much of the details of the movie, what was your first introduction into, or where did you first learn about this movie, maybe?
Yeah, like, I know I'd seen countless references to this in various media. Like, Beavis and Butthead's one that stands out to me. They did a Beavis and Butthead episode. It was like, what if you weren't alive, Beavis, or Butthead? And then you see, like, Beavis's life gets so much better without Butthead, which is like the opposite. But then the movie itself, like, I know I've seen it at my uncle's. Well, he's like my grandmother's brother. I went to his place once around Christmas time, and it was on TV, but I wasn't really there to stay or anything. I'm just talking to him in the room. There's a TV playing It's a Wonderful Life, and I was like, oh, this is that movie. Oh, but I didn't really watch it. And like, that's the most I've ever seen of this movie before. Just all the references in other media, and that, I don't know, 20 seconds.
And I'm with you. This is a movie that has always passed me by for some reason. It's always lauded as this, the classic, Christmas classic. It's known as one of the best movies ever, people will say, because it's a 1946 old school classic movie, so it's kind of hard to argue with that, I guess, when you go to old movies and say they're bad back then, they're not so good. It is a pretty good movie, but we'll get into that.
You know what's funny is just, I learned after the fact that this movie, when originally released, kind of got forgotten about, overlooked. No one really looked at it or anything.
Okay.
And then there was like 25 years or whenever the license expired, and it went to public access or whatever, public domain, that they picked it up in like the 70s, and they started putting it on TV around Christmas time. Okay. And it took off then, that everyone started loving it as a Christmas classic.
I kind of wonder, like, was it intentionally meant to be a Christmas movie? Like, did they do Christmas movies back then? Or was it just a movie where it kind of has Christmas happening within it, I guess, sort of thing?
That will be definitely brought up in my notes.
Yeah. I was similar to you. Like, I'd never seen it. I knew of a bunch of references growing up. Watching this movie, I didn't even know some of the references that I knew that actually were references. Like, watching The Simpsons, like, and he go when they're in the bank and they're trying to get their money from the bank, and the bank owner guy, the manager guy, goes, my money's, I don't have your money, it's in Bill's house and Fred's house.
Where are you with my money, Fred?
Yeah, and Moses is beating Fred up. What are you doing with my money, Fred?
Yeah.
I didn't realize that they were referencing this movie.
I knew. Just because he has such a Jimmy Stewart kind of
his
accent.
Voice, yes. I just didn't know it was from this, but it made me laugh watching it because I know the reference, or I know the joke that comes out.
Yeah.
But let's go to some of the cast, I guess. We'll start with James Stewart, I guess. He's the main character, George. What do you think of him?
Yeah, I mean, he's well done. I mean, this story is very focused on him. So it's kind of like a character piece almost. I would say it's more of a character piece than a Christmas movie, if you ask me.
Yeah.
So George is, I mean, he's not over the top in any way. He's just kind of like your everyday man, which is kind of the point of this movie. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I feel like he's the character. And it might be that whole thing where I've never seen Jimmy Stewart in anything else, so this is the role I associate with him.
Exactly.
But it does feel like he's playing this everyday man character that we get to know. And yeah, he did a good job. Like, he never feels too over the top. I mean, there's some stuff that's more like the writing wise, where I'm like, why did that happen? Why did he act so, violently or stupid or whatever in that one scene? But overall, he's pretty good. I liked him.
I'll agree. I think he did a good job. He obviously carries the movie. He is the main character of the movie. I think there isn't a scene without him in it, actually. And he does a good. He definitely has that very distinct voice. Like, this is what you think of when you think of Jimmy Stewart, apparently, because I'd never seen him in anything, and then I seen this. I'm like, oh, okay, that I do know who that is. I've heard that voice before. I know exactly.
And that's something I had in my notes too. Is like that Jimmy Stewart voice. Like so many people have imitated it and everything. And I always thought that with imitations they often exaggerate it or whatever. And I thought, well, they're probably doing it right. He probably just was really like that. And then I watched SNL, and they had a skit with "It's a Wonderful Life," the alternate ending or whatever, with Dana Carvey doing a Jimmy Stewart. And I'm like, oh, his Jimmy Stewart impression is really kind of low key. Like he's not really as good. Like it's probably just not very good. Yeah. And then I saw the movie, and I'm like, no, actually, Dana Carvey did it like pretty spot on.
He pretty much nailed him. Yeah. I thought he was a great character. If you don't have a character that you like, then you're probably not going to like the movie. And I liked him pretty much throughout the whole movie. I understood where he was coming from with a lot of the stuff that he did, like why he'd be angry or happy or jovial.
Yeah.
I understood his emotions, so I did like that about him and his acting. Do you know anything more about him, or do you want to go to the next?
No, we go to the next person. Yeah.
Okay, next person. We can do his brother, Harry Bailey. Todd Carnes was the actor.
Okay, I am not going to know any of these actors aside.
I just wrote their names. I wouldn't know their names either.
Yeah, he's not in it a whole lot. I mean, unless you count the child, which is not Todd Carnes, it's someone else. But like, he shows up in the second half of the movie at least. I don't know if it's like the second act or third act, but he shows up, he disappears, and he comes back again at the end. Mm-hmm. He's all right, but he's kind of like a nothing character. He feels to me a little bit like Sebastian Stan as Bucky Barnes, Winter Soldier.
Okay, yeah.
Probably that soldier appeal kind of crossover thing. But
yeah, I get what you're saying.
It gives me that impression.
Yeah, it definitely. Your leading man is Captain America, but he's there, kind of there in and out throughout the story.
Although there is like Captain America is like if Captain America never joined the war and stayed home. Yeah. That's Jimmy Stewart.
Yeah.
And then Bucky did go to war.
Yeah. Same as you. He didn't have a whole lot to do, but what he did was, it was good. It was serviceable for the role. It wasn't over the top in any way. He was a good fit for a brother, I'd say, for his role. We'll go the one that married George Mary Hatch. Donna Reed is the actress.
Yeah, I liked her. Like she felt really good too. Like I don't know, she just felt like the girl next door, which she wasn't literally the girl next door, but she was always in his life. She was always there and overlooked all the time. I found it weird. I mean, it's not the actor, but I found it weird that as a kid she's like telling that she's gonna marry him and stuff, and then she does. And that's kind of strange. But the adult actress, anyways, it's very good, believable, and she kind of fits into like this 50s. This is what pre-50s, right?
This is 46. This movie came out in 1946.
So that old timey era of the perfect wife, thing.
Yeah, I thought she was the kid brother of, the kid sister of one of his friends. Yeah, and that's how he gets introduced. He knew of her, but he never really cared or thought about her until like the prom or whatever it was at the dance. And then all the pool opens up and all that stuff, and they have that encounter. Yeah, it was kind of cute. And then they're walking home, and she's bundled up, and yeah, it was a good. And I think she did a really good job of filling that role of being his counterpart, his girlfriend, then his wife, and then the mother of their children. She did a good job. She tested him a little bit, but she was also always there, kind of support him. Like even like when they got married, and like they had to like use their money to help pay the townspeople. We're not going on a honeymoon, I guess. She's the one that pulled up the money and said, we'll pay everybody. That's
maybe one thing that I could say about her compared to Jimmy Stewart was that her character is always like swooning over him. Like she's always in love with him. There are parts, like Jimmy does love her, but there are parts where he's just like so focused on something else that he just doesn't care. And not just at the end, but even earlier, there's some parts where he just kind of ignores her because he's thinking of something else.
Even when he goes to her house, when she comes home for the weekend or something because she was in school. Yeah. And then he's like, "Why are you here?" "Well, why am I here?" It's like, why did you go there?
And that's what I mean when I said like there's some spots with Jimmy Stewart where I think it's more the writing where his character just acts really weird. He just totally blows his top for no reason or something else. But
no, but I still did enjoy that scene though too. When he's like, "Why am I here?" And they were he's like upset with her, and she's upset with him. And they know they want to be with each other, but they're like, For some reason, they just don't know how to show it.
Yeah.
And then how about this, the old man, Mr. Potter, the asshole in the wheelchair.
Is it Maurice Barrymore?
It's Lionel Barrymore.
Barrymore.
I got written down here.
I'm thinking, yeah. As the villain, if you can call him that, he is perfect. I liked him.
Yeah.
So the actor is in a wheelchair. Well, apparently he had like some kind of like hernia or something, like sciatica or something like that. He could walk, but it was just kind of painful for him, so he was in a wheelchair. So that wasn't a story choice. He was legitimately
I didn't know that. I thought it was just a story choice.
I'm not sure he's related to Drew Barrymore at all. I think I looked him up on Wikipedia, and it was like saying like he's part of the Barrymore family of actors. I'm like, I can only think of Drew.
Could very much be like her grandfather or something.
But yeah, he was good, and like he's very pompous, and I feel like he's like
he's arrogant.
Yeah, he must have been like a classical actor because the way he talks and stuff, he's very full of himself. Like just like if Frasier, if Kelsey Grammer was an asshole, like that's what I mean. He speaks in a way like that.
He does have a more proper way of speaking, like maybe like Shakespearean actor.
I do feel like his character is presented a little bit cartoonishly at times. Like he owns like the whole town and everything, and blah, 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 and like everyone bows to his whim, and it's like okay, that's a little bit over the top. But
well, that's why you gotta have the good side with
Jimmy
George and his family and their company trying to battle him because he's the big money hungry asshole. And yeah, I thought he was really great. You want to hate this guy because he is the one that he just wants to own everything. He wants to own everybody.
And not to get into the story, but I wish he had a comeuppance at the end. The SNL skit was right.
True. Yes, he doesn't really have anything that gets under. Yeah, he doesn't really have a comeuppance.
Well, he just gets away with it, and like he took the $8,000, which is nothing to him, but meant everything to George.
George and his company.
What's George's last name? George
Bailey.
Yes.
Then I'll do. There's just two other ones I'll say right here. So there's Uncle Billy, who's Thomas Mitchell. So what do you think about Uncle Billy?
He was a fun character, kind of kooky, because like they never really expressly say anything about it, but he always has these animals.
Yeah,
there's a raven in the office.
I was like, what is with this bird in the office for the longest time? Like, what is going on? It's his apparently.
Yeah, because later on you see him in other scenes. He's got animals with him. It's like
he goes into his office and there's a dog. There's like a budgie. There's a monkey.
Yeah,
like what is going?
It's never explicitly said to the viewer about this. You just figure it out on your own.
It's not explained at all. He goes into his office with one time, and you see all these animals that he has.
Well, the raven was out in...
The raven we see constantly throughout the movie. Yeah. But I never knew it was his until it lands on his shoulder that one time. I say, okay, the raven's his, and then you see all these other animals. Like, what's going on? Why did he have all these animals?
Such a strange thing.
It doesn't add anything, but it's just a kind of a neat thing that his character has, I guess.
And he seems to be kind of like... I don't want to say bipolar, but like his emotions kind of go high and low really quick. Like, he gets angry faster than George does at times. Like when they're in the meeting, he's already pissed off. George tries to keep a separate.
He is, more calm head.
And then when Billy loses the money, he goes like he's like having a breakdown, crying.
Yeah.
Which George does too.
Yes.
But George like wanders out into like the town and it slowly descends into it. Where Billy's just like.
Oh yeah, he's instantly like just bawling, just distraught. And I loved his character. I thought he was funny because there's no way that he could have run the company. He's definitely dumber than George, dumber than his brother who owned the company that George took over from his dad. Yeah. And he's more of, I'd say he's definitely more for the comedy of it all. And he gets drunk at that one point too.
Yeah.
Like it was, he's a funny character. I thought he did a fun job playing that character.
I know I wrote down, I like drunk Uncle Billy.
Yeah. Fun fact, the scene where he's drunk and he walks off, the One Direction, he's like, you're that way, Uncle Billy, whatever, and you hear the crashing. Apparently, that wasn't actually supposed to be him crashing into cans and stuff like that. Some stagehand actually dropped a bunch of like props and stuff at that time, and then he played it off like, oh, I'm okay, like that. He just played it off. Like, so it's kind of improvised. It's neat that they kept that in the movie. And then the last character I'll throw in there is the angel, Clarence. Henry Travers.
Yeah, honestly, like he's good. He's kind of like goofy in a bit, but he is not in the movie a whole lot. It's hard to really say it. Like, that's another thing that I have in my notes is that everything I knew about this movie, like all the Christmas aspect of everything, like the angel and everything, That's like the last 20 minutes of the movie.
Yeah, I was surprised.
So,
I was surprised too.
I don't want to get too much in the story, but with Clarence, he's only there for like the last 20 minutes, and like
you hear his voice early on, like halfway through, talking with other angels,
like as a narration kind of thing.
Yeah.
And the thing is, in the end, like the setup in the beginning was that he's going to get his wings by doing this, and at the end, you just get the idea that he probably earned them. Mm-hmm. There's no actual confirmation with like the voices in the sky being like, "Oh, I got my wings" or whatever. Like, no,
you have to assume based on what he said
the
and
little girl,
the fact that the bell rings. Okay, that's for him. That's it. I mean, yeah, and I liked his character. He was goofy, like you said. And even him saying like, "Oh, I saved you by jumping into the river." He's like, "What? No, I saved you by jumping into the river." No. I knew you were gonna jump, so I went first. And I like that. And he was a fun character. He wasn't like all knowing, but he kind of he knew what he needed to do. And I liked him. I liked he was a fun character.
It's funny because like you said, he's not all knowing. It's like but he existed for like hundreds of years. Like, it seems like he was a person at one point and he died and became an angel, but like he hasn't been paying attention to Earth. So like when he comes back and he orders drinks, I can't remember what he orders, but it's some like kind of Stone Age.
Yeah, it was a weird mix of things. Yeah. And he said he was like over 200 or something years old. Yeah, is what he said.
So it's kind of funny, like that he is this all-powerful angel that was around. But he hasn't paid attention, that's all. Yeah. And that's just about it.
Yeah. So those are the characters I thought I'd throw. I mean, you could always bring the mom up if you want to. I don't know what her name was. I mention her.
I was going to say Violet kind of reoccurs.
Yeah, Violet too. She's another one that was in love with George for like her whole life.
I thought, well, I don't know. Like, she just seemed like she was maybe like a floozy or something because like she's... That was her as a kid, right?
Yeah, the blonde one that was at the table.
But then like when he has some trouble with Mary... And he meets Violet on the street, and Violet's like, "Oh, let's go, whatever. You want to go do something, George?" She's like, "Yeah, let's go to the meadow." When she finds out she's gonna take her shoes off or something, because like walk through the meadow, and she like runs away. And it's like, so what? You just wanted like
some sort of weirdo?
I don't know. Like she just wanted like something at home, like just immediately go back to someplace and sleep with him, or I don't know what she was up to. Like
I don't know. I think she just thought George was a different person than he really is. I don't know. It seems like she was infatuated with him their whole life because both girls, when they were like in the soda shop or whatever it was at the beginning of the movie, they both seemed to really like George. Yeah. And then later on, it seemed like she was after him at the prom, and then he got introduced to Mary instead.
Well, then I thought that was going to lead to something because when like the end, when things start coming down on George at the business, Violet's there for a bit in the meeting, and she gives him a kiss on the cheek, and like. People see that, and they start acting suspicious, and then someone starts mentioning, like he's got time to fraternize with the patrons.
Yeah, exactly. Obviously someone said something because didn't Mr. Potter say something about like, you and Victoria or whatever.
Violet were but it never comes up. It never comes up aside from that, like just makes him feel more in trouble, but Mary never finds
it's not like Mary's ever like jealous that he got kissed by Violet.
Yeah, that's about it for the main characters. Like there's other characters I want to mention. Yeah. Like I was gonna say the maid, the black. Oh yeah, maid. That just felt like, ooh, you wouldn't do that now.
You know what? There was the black maid, and then there was like the black dude with the train, like collecting their tickets or whatever it was. I'm like, they're just giving them like these service jobs. I'm like, I don't think you'd see that nowadays. You would definitely have someone as a main cast member.
Very much of that time.
Yes.
But there's a part in the end with the maid when she gives them the money. She's like, "I was saving this up for when I get married so I can get a divorce." And it's like, is it trying to say that black people are automatically get divorced? So she had that ready in case. Yeah. I don't know. It's funny. Yeah, it is. If you took out the part that she was a servant lady and stuff before, that made me think that it means more to it than just being a funny line. But
and I'm like, is she being a stereotype too? Because she's almost dressed like Aunt Jemima the way she's dressed. She doesn't have the rag on her head or anything, but she like her outfit kind of looked Aunt Jemima-esque. I was like, did they really look like that in the 1940s? Yeah, is that what they would have worn?
I can't say enough about that. Like,
yeah, it just almost seemed like, okay, they're doing some sort of a stereotypical thing here that maybe is of its time, and they definitely wouldn't be doing that nowadays.
But you're right, for you guys who might not have seen it. Think of Aunt Jemima, that's that character, really.
Yeah, exactly.
She's a bit bigger, though.
Yeah. Then we can get into maybe some of the story, and right off the bat, like I was a little already surprised right off the hop, because we're like seeing Earth, and it pulls out, and it sees the moon, and it sees these galaxies, and then you're like, all these lights blink, and they start talking. You're like, what? Okay, so the galaxy's talking, and they're talking about being angels and getting the wings. So the galaxies are the angels, apparently. Yeah. Okay, so that I did not expect that. I had no idea that was a thing in this movie. It kind of reminded me of Futurama.
Yeah, the robot god or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. I've actually seen that before too in other things, but I didn't realize it probably stemmed from this originally.
I was actually going to start even earlier when I was like, they have the title cards, but they're like hand pulled. You see, like someone's pulling the cards away.
Yeah.
And I was like, what?
Yeah.
But it was kind of charming in its own way. But yes, the lights flashing and stuff. I'm like, okay. And I thought that was going to be like a bigger thing. Like a lot of times, like you mentioned before, there's narration in the middle with Clarence, and I thought at the end we'd maybe have that. But like I thought, okay, we're going to cut back at certain points to the lights and these angels and gods or whatever they're supposed to be, and we're going to talk to them a bit. But it never happens. Like it just happens at the beginning, and then you hear the voices, but you never see the space.
Didn't it happen one more time? I thought we might have saw them one more time. Maybe not.
I don't think so.
I think we did. I think it was right before Clarence went down to Earth. I think we did see them one more time talking to each other.
But it also like because they make some biblical references in there about like characters, and I was like, oh, is this going to be a lot more heavy-handed with the Bible than I thought? Like. It's Christmas, so there is obviously the Christian connotations, but I thought like, oh, this movie's going to be like a Bible thumping movie. Yeah. But not really. Like, no. There's that.
Especially the fact that Christmas is only like the last 20 minutes of the movie.
Yeah. So that, it worried me to start. I was like, oh, this is going to be a little bit different than I thought.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and even in like back in the 1940s, it probably would have been a lot more Christian faring for Christmas movies. I would have thought anyways. But no, it really wasn't. It's a movie that I think anybody could watch, whatever religion you are, I think.
But it's funny, like, because even, I think before we even see the constellations, we see Bedford Falls, and everyone's talking like, oh, please God, help George Bailey, help it. And everyone's talking about George, and then it cuts up to the sky, and they're talking about it. Yeah. And I was like, wow, we learn a lot about those characters that we never, like, we haven't seen yet.
I'll say it also reminded me of a more recent movie with Simon Pegg. I don't think you've seen this. I don't know what it's called even. But he gets like, these godlike powers.
Absolutely anything.
Yeah. Okay. So there's actually these alien entities. They want to see if humanity is worth saving.
Yeah.
And so he gives this one normal average person godlike powers, and they kind of remind me of that. Like they were watching from above and gave these powers down to this guy on Earth. And I feel like they maybe borrowed from that. I feel like that's what they were kind of doing.
Yeah. I want to see that movie, but I haven't.
It's okay. More of the plot. We can jump into like the story, like George and like him as a kid.
Yeah, because the constellations and angels kind of guide us through the first few years of George's life. Mm-hmm. So they go to when he's a kid, and he was playing on a pond with his brother and a bunch of other kids. But his brother broke through the ice. Yeah. And George jumps in to save him. Like we see that and stuff. He just jumps in and pulls his brother out of the water. And that's kind of it for the scene. It's just to show that George is like a caring person, and he's willing to do it, even though like in the end he ended up like losing his hearing in one ear.
Yeah, he got like water in his ear and it infected or something.
Yeah,
he lost the hearing in the left ear.
Yeah, and it comes into the movie at other points where he's like, "Sorry, I don't hear so good in this ear" or something like that. Yeah. And then in the end, the angel clears it. I don't know if it's only cleared in the alternate timeline where he didn't exist. Because he gets his hearing back. And I'm like, ooh, wouldn't it be cool if, like, when he goes back to the real timeline, that he keeps it? Like, the angel gave him the
I think it was just in that alternate timeline that he had it. Because when he comes back, he still has the busted lip. Yeah. So I'm assuming he still has the bad hearing, too.
I know, but I mean, like, that would have been cool if they did that for him, like a nice little thing. But yeah, anyways, so saves his brother, and then it shows, like, he's working at this store, like a pharmacy, it seems.
Is it a pharmacy or is it like an ice cream shop or?
Yeah, and that's the whole hot dog thing that you were doing with the.
Also, how old do kids get jobs?
I said kids like 13 to 14.
Yeah, he's like 12. I thought. I think these kids are hopping in there like they're going to the bar.
I mean, I think Did we start working like after school with Sherry? We were like 14. I feel like we were close to that age.
I think Sherry, we would probably have been 15 at least. I think we had to at least drive ourselves, so we probably would have been 16.
But anyways, like we were fairly young, but I could see because I think there are kids who are 14 who do work.
I know I've had summer jobs when I was like 14.
But he's working like at a pharmacy and they're giving out drugs, which is a big thing. Like,
Exactly.
okay, so maybe the kid shouldn't be doing that, even though he's not the one that screws up, because like it's the storekeeper who's kind of going through a depression at the moment when
he loses his son that day.
Yeah, and he gives like poison to this person.
Yeah.
But George catches on before he delivers it, and even though he gets a smacking,
he's beating them in the head
because
his ears are bleeding.
The store owner finds out he didn't deliver it as he was supposed to, and he starts beating George like, "You lousy!" Blah, blah. And then George's like, "You put the poison in this one." And I like the guy when he takes the pill and he's like,
he tastes it.
And it's just like,
how poisonous is this poison that you just tasted it?
But yeah, so you see George is doing all the right thing his whole life and kind of suffering for it. Like honestly, he does the right thing.
A lot of times you really feel for him because like, what does he get out of it? Because you see what his dreams are and what his ambitions are, and he never gets to achieve those.
And we also see, that's when we see Mary for the first time.
Yeah.
Which, like I said, that was kind of weird. Like as kids, Violet's still in love with him too.
Yeah.
And Mary's like the more subtle with her intentions.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of strange.
I like seeing them as kids though. It was cute seeing them little and then seeing them growing up. I like it. It's yeah, you like seeing both versions of them, and you can see seeing that she was always kind of interested in him. It wasn't just like a one-time thing at the prom that all of a sudden they drew this love. She already had eyes for him from the beginning.
And I think maybe there's a scene when he's a kid back at home. This is I already have like written in.
There was. He goes back to home, and that's when you see Harry.
As a kid?
His brother. Yeah, both of them are there, and you meet the maid the first time.
That's what I was gonna say.
And the parents. I'm like, their parents are old as fuck too. Like when you see them, I'm like, these kids are like 10, 12, 13 maybe. Their parents are like they're in their 70s at this age. It's understandable when he's like in his 30s that his dad would have been that older, his mom would have been that old. But when they're like 10 and 13 or whatever, that's pretty old parents. You got.
And I wrote down too, like 20 minutes into the movie, doesn't feel like a Christmas movie at all. Like they don't mention Christmas. It's not Christmas at any of those times. I mean, it's winter in the one scene, which lasts for probably 2 minutes. That scene, but otherwise it has nothing to do with Christmas. And then it jumps to like the prom.
Whatever the dance is.
The dance.
The night of the dance.
It's his brother's though. Like George's already graduated, isn't he?
That makes sense then because she was 18 when they went there. So yeah, he would have been older, and it's his friend's daughter or a friend's sister. So George, he would have been graduated.
George is bringing booze. Like in the U.S., they wouldn't be able to drink to 21, so he was bringing booze for the kids and stuff, like the younger ones.
Yeah.
But there's like a big prom in this gymnasium and stuff where he meets Mary again. He talks to a bunch of his friends. And the craziest thing that I've ever seen happens, that the dance floor they have in the gymnasium opens up and there's a swimming pool underneath.
Oh, they're doing a dance competition.
Well, yeah, it was a dance competition too. Yeah. But you guys will have to correct me. It's like, is that a thing? That swimming pools underneath gymnasiums? It doesn't have to be dance floor.
Yeah. And it's a deep drop too. Like it's like almost like an 8-foot drop between the water and the.
Well, yeah. Like the dance floor itself is probably 4 feet thick, and then to the water.
Yeah.
What if someone was in there swimming and you closed it on them and like,
I know, yeah. Is that a thing that they did? They had dance floors over top of pools?
And I can't believe that they didn't notice while they were dancing.
Well, yeah.
Everyone's screaming and they don't even look.
Well, he's like, well, we must be doing a good job. Everybody's screaming for us.
But you just, instead of looking directly, because they're both with their backs to it, they never look any more than they have to see each other out of the sides of their eyes. But it's like, right behind you is this big fucking hole, and no one even steps in to help them.
Well, then you wouldn't get the comedic moment of them going, whoa!
Falling in the pool.
Yeah. And then everybody jumps the pool.
Yeah. Even like the old, well, he's not crotchety.
Well,
yeah.
What? You have to go in.
The principal or something?
The principal, I think, yeah.
And then that leads to the walk home, like him and Mary, they walk home together, but they have to wear like other clothes.
Yeah, it was like lost and found clothes or something, or used clothes, or
I don't know.
Yeah, she had just a nightgown, or what do you call it? Yeah, like a bathrobe.
Like a robe, because it had long.
It looked like a bathrobe.
A long trailing.
And he had like football.
Clothes. It was just kind of strange. So they walk it home together, and that's where it kind of gets a little bit more romantic. Like she's always swooning over him, but George never paid attention until this point in time, where he's like.
Well, they're singing that Buffalo Soldier song.
And they sing it terribly. I'll just say, I did not like how they sang it at all. It's especially that very big change in like the tune, or like the what's the word? The rhythm of it.
Yeah.
We're like, Buffalo soldiers or Buffalo Girls, won't you come home
Buffalo
tonight?
Girls,
Come home tonight. And then it just changes completely, like, underneath the moon, or something like that.
Is that the words of the song, or are they just like trying to make up words as they're singing along at that point? Because they're looking at each other's lips as they're doing it. It's like they're making it up.
I've heard of Buffalo Girls. And that main chorus, but not like the underneath the moon thing or whatever.
I'm wondering, maybe they made that up on the spot, and that's what it was supposed to be. Just, like an improv between the two of them.
But this is also where we kind of get like George starts talking about traveling more. I don't remember him talking about traveling the world before this.
Yeah, but she got upset about that because it sounded like he wanted a future that didn't have anything to do with her.
Yeah, like George's whole like ideal trajectory in life was to go and travel the world and take jobs in different places and whatever, and that's what he wanted to do. And he's staying at home to help his dad, kind of the big thing. Help his mom and dad, I guess, but mostly his dad because his dad ran the business. And now that his brother was graduating, George was supposed to go to...
Well, he wanted to go to school too, and he wanted to travel. He had all his ambitions that he wanted to do.
And
but that night, unfortunately...
Yeah, like, even though he had a... swallowing the moon was not...
This is when he says he last saw the moon for her too.
Yeah, I have swallowing the moon is not as romantic as he thought. I don't know what.
He definitely said lassoing the moon.
Yeah. And then so his as much as that evening was kind of paying off romantically, suddenly a car just drives up. Was Uncle Billy in the car, or was just the taxi driver? I
feel like there was two people. It might have been Uncle Billy, but I don't know. I can't remember at the time.
But they pull up and they're like, "Yeah, your dad. He's like, his emergency. It's your father."
He had a stroke, I think it was.
They don't even really get into it though. They like. After the fact, you see like they're in this boardroom at the meeting and everyone's wearing the black armbands.
Yeah, it was like weeks later or something, yeah.
Yeah, and his father passed away that day.
Yeah.
So then he had to give up going to school. He stays to run the business. And he's still thinking, I am going to travel. I'll just do this until his brother comes back from school.
Well, at first he's thinking Uncle Billy can run the business because we got all the supporters that are going to help us with the company.
Yeah. No one like Billy.
No. We're only going to stick around with the company if you are running it, not Uncle Billy.
Because that's when he starts
he had to stick around.
Confronting Potter.
Yeah.
Yeah, and no one else is really confronting him the same way. And that's, they get him to stick around.
Yeah.
But he was thinking, I'll just do this until my brother's done college or whatever.
Yeah.
And then he'll take over and I can go and do what I really want to do and travel, blah, blah, blah. And that's what I have, like, why is there a raven in the office? This is still way before it ever gets explained. Yeah. But yeah, he was looking at construction and engineering jobs, but we've never seen him do anything like that the whole time.
No.
Like,
he just was always talking about, these were always the things that he had ambitions for, but never, he never saw him, like, working, like, on a draft or anything, like, building a house or something like that.
Yeah.
Oh, we also didn't mention that house that Mary said they were going to live in eventually. Fun fact about that house, when they were throwing the rocks, so they had like a sniper or a shooter ready to shoot up the glass for Mary. She literally threw it and smashed the glass on her own. Because apparently she used to play baseball and she actually had a really good arm. So she smashed the glass, they didn't even need the shooter.
Yeah.
And that's the house that she said, we're going to grow up and we're going to live in this house.
Yeah, even back then, like they're just a little, well, he's a little bit older, she's 18, he's like 21 or something.
Sorry, I might be jumping ahead. This is probably after he comes back and they start dating again, isn't it?
No, this was...
Was it that night of the dance?
Pretty sure it was the night of the dance.
Okay, maybe it was.
But either way, it was like a few years before, and that house was already run down and shitty and stuff.
It was decrepit.
Yeah. So then, like, his father dies, he takes over, and I think it takes us, like, it skips ahead to when his brother finishes school and he comes back, and he's...
Oh, yeah.
Or did he go to the war? No, he didn't.
No, he didn't go to the war yet.
He didn't go to the war yet.
No. But he was gone for like 4 years or something. I don't know if it was 4 years. He was gone for quite a while.
Yeah.
Comes back with a lady on his arm.
And they find out that he's engaged. And like then they have like this...
engaged or married, actually. I think she said her last name was already Bailey.
Oh, okay.
I think they were already married. I think they went and got married when they were already off. And just, I'm sure they were married.
And then they have a big like party because, our son's married or engaged, whatever it happened to be. I think that they were secretly married, but no one knew about it. Like maybe they just went to the courthouse and did it, and then they were having the party after the fact, kind of thing.
I can't. Yeah.
But that's where we get drunk Uncle Billy, and someone was walking barefoot is a laughable idea. Who's walking barefoot?
Does someone actually walk barefoot? I remember he was talking about walking barefoot with Violet, and she was the one that.
Oh yeah, that's the thing
that's when they turned her off. Like, oh, that's
what it was. Because like why is that so crazy to walk barefoot? Like, that
Sounds
doesn't
like a
seem
romantic thing. Walk barefoot through grass.
Well, even like just in general, like if we were a bunch of, like, it doesn't have to be romantic. Like if you and your friends were like, oh, let's go to whatever place. Like, oh, I'm gonna go barefoot. Like, yeah, that's like a stupid idea, but let's do it. It's not like it's crazy or disgusting. Get away from me. Which that's her reaction.
Basically, yeah.
She like looks at him like he belongs in a nut house. And everyone laughs at him, like they're all, and it's happening like on a boulevard too. And there's all these people just standing there laughing at him.
Yeah. It was odd, yeah.
But so then he goes and talks to Mary because his mom was telling him earlier in the night about, oh, that Mary girl, she still loves you, and blah blah blah. And he's so kind of caught up in his head because now that his brother's married, they're going to go on a honeymoon and stuff.
Yeah.
And he couldn't leave the business. He couldn't do what he wanted to do. So he's still in his head like, how my life is going wrong. This isn't what I wanted.
He doesn't want to stay in town, and it's where he's been his whole life.
And he just starts walking through the town. And he ends up like he starts going the opposite direction of her house,
ways,
according to what his mom says.
Yeah.
But he ends up at her place anyways, and she invites him in. Like she's got everything ready. She got this.
Well, your mom called and said you were gonna be coming over.
Yeah.
I didn't tell her I was coming over.
Well, even before that, she somehow got someone to draw a picture of him lassoing the moon.
Yeah.
She puts the record on, tells her mom to fuck off, go upstairs.
She did all that as soon as she saw him in the window, though. It wasn't like she didn't have it out.
The drawing she obviously made before.
She had that, yeah, prior, but she didn't put the record on until he was in the window, and then she opens the door.
And that is such the most awkward thing because again, she's swooning over him. She's totally in love with him, caught in that moment from, I don't know, 3-4 years ago, however long.
Yeah.
Brother was in school, and like he's just down, like so negative about everything.
Yeah, he's in his own mind. He's not even thinking about like her. He's not even thinking about anything else.
He sees the picture and he's like, "Oh, you're having a laugh at me about the lasso and the move, and you're having a laugh at me." And it's just like, no, like
you're not getting it.
And then
she remembers that moment.
Like she kind of gets pissed off because they're both getting argumentative. She's like, "I don't know why I came here," and all this stuff. She breaks the record and everything.
Yeah. And then the other guy that likes her, Sam, whatever his last name is.
It was George's friend.
Yeah.
They
from New York. He's working in New York and making money.
He calls because he's been kind of courting Mary. But that is, like I wrote here, the two of them sharing the phone because they're both on the phone with this guy. I said that is the most terribly awkward thing ever. And it's not just how it looks, but I assume acting that like on that way, like to be crouched together like that was, I hated it. It was not romantic, and like they went from being super pissed off at each other on the phone to just suddenly like horny as hell because they just like
they're just that close proximity of each other. Being in there, like okay, let's do this.
Yeah, and they start necking like right there as the mom watches.
Yeah, and the mom obviously not happy because she wants Sam.
Yeah, and I wrote like how they get together is fucking strange. He's practically yelling at her. Like,
yeah, I know he was kind of being a dick to her, but the conversation that they were having with Sam on the phone though, it was something about
the fact wanting to be invested in it.
Yeah, invest in that, and he was like, "No, we're not going to do that. We're going to invest in my company or whatever it was," and then it showed. Maybe it showed her that he wanted to stick around now still instead of take off with Sam. And
I don't know.
I don't know. There was something in the conversation that made them realize, okay, you are still interested in me. I'm still interested in you, sort of.
He never gives a clear response. He just drops the phone when they start making out or whatever. Yeah. It's like rude. But then it cuts to them getting married. Yeah. And they're having a big wedding and stuff. And I wrote this earlier because I'm writing these notes as I'm watching the movie. Yeah. I said, was Uncle Billy not at the wedding? Because you see everyone else like, giving them money and stuff for their honeymoon and stuff, and all this, whatever's going on. And then, as they're leaving town, they stop. What do they stop for? For gas or something? Oh, no. They see everyone running to his father's loan.
Yeah, to the loan place. Yeah, the building and loan place that he owns.
So he goes there, and apparently, like, they're out of money at least until, like, the next day or something.
The bank was having issues or something like that. They were out of money for a week or something.
And if they didn't successfully do business that day with some money left over, that they would be closed on.
Yeah.
So George happens to see that, walks in, and he's like, starts like him and Mary start giving away all the money they had for their honeymoon to all these people who were
the townsfolk. They're ready to jump to Potter to save their money.
It wasn't a whole lot, in our time, I can't remember what it was, like $5,000 maybe?
Yeah.
Maybe something like that.
But I did like, everybody asking for how much money they wanted. It was like 250. He's like, oh, come on. For the week, come on. You can't need, I need 250. And then the one guy's like 300. So like, you need 300? $20. Okay, there we go. That's what I'm talking about there. And then the one lady says $17.50. Apparently that was a little bit incorrect. She was supposed to say $17. And she says $17.50, and it actually caught him up. Because oh yeah, that's the kiss. The kiss wasn't. The kiss wasn't planned either. Like that was improvised. Because there we go. I like that scene. It was fun.
They close up the day with like $2, like 2 bills.
$2.
And like they're all celebrating and stuff. And then he remembers he's supposed to have his honeymoon. Yeah. So he finds out he's supposed to go to see Mary, but she's not at home, like her house.
Yeah.
They go to that same building that they threw rocks at the windows. Yeah. And she's in there, and she has it like. It's very decrepit, but she's got certain rooms and stuff decked out, so it's kind of like a honeymoon setting. Yeah. They put all these posters up of like travel brochure kind of posters to kind of make them think that we're on this vacation and look at all these places that we've been to.
Yeah, this is our honeymoon sort of thing.
They have like the cop and the taxi driver outside the window singing songs to them, which is kind of weird. Because I'm thinking their honeymoon is going to end with them doing the deed, so you have 2 people outside.
Yeah, singing songs to them.
Good.
Gonna make some babies.
But George confronted Potter as a kid and grew to an adult. Meanwhile, Potter never. Yeah, Potter stayed the same age. That's something
I think that he did. His hair got maybe a little bit lighter throughout the years, or thinner. I think it was maybe a little bit thicker or darker as he was younger. But he was old as fuck when he was younger too. Yeah. So I think like George is probably like 27 or 28 by the time they get married, or at least have their first kid. I think that's what they said. Yeah.
And I really an hour and 16 minutes in, and it's like a newsreel, like this movie. Like it starts showing like the war. They start showing like the war going on, because I guess at the time of that movie, World War II was happening.
Yeah. Well, it didn't come out till 46, so it would have been filmed during the war times. Yeah. And Harry's brother was in the war.
He goes to the war. Yeah,
he's a big warrior. He took down like 15 fighter jets or something like that in the war. It said.
But George didn't have to go because of his hearing. Like he had lost hearing in 1 year,
so he stayed at home. And that's been his whole life though. It's been kind of like he's wanted to do other stuff, but he just couldn't because he's just been bound to his hometown. Yeah,
and it was this point I started noticing there's like a lot of weird cuts. Just like it seemed like hard cuts where they just snap to something else. And you don't get like a fade or anything. It's like, oh, that was a weird thing. And there was like a scene, I think it was in the bank, when someone screwed up a line or something. So it's the same exact framing and everything, but people are suddenly
I've noticed that too. They'd be jostled slightly, or they would cut to a different angle, and you could see that they're like not in the same position as where they were with the other camera angle. But they could continue the scene as though it was.
That's where I started noticing like these weird cuts like that, and it's like it happens a few times. It's not totally jarring. Like maybe the first or second time you see it, you'll be like, oh, that they haven't quite narrowed that or haven't quite perfected that yet. A nice transition from one to the next.
Yeah, that's definitely probably a 40s issue, not something you'd see nowadays.
Yeah, and then the big we cut ahead a bit. And we see stuff where he helps Mr. Martini.
He runs the bar.
I always think that's weird. I'm like, that sounds like that's
Martini and
Martino or something would make more sense. I have a hard time thinking Martini because it just seems like cartoonish. Yeah. But they help like these Italian immigrant kind of people get this new house, which they make into a bar, or maybe they own the bar. They get the help with the bar. I can't remember what they got. Yeah. But he does own the bar at the end of it. It's all that really matters. Yeah. But and it's like I guess Christmas Day or whatever. His daughter's sick.
He has kids too. George has 2 boys and 2 girls. I think it was.
And his youngest daughter gets sick. Yeah. The other ones are one of them's practicing piano. What is the boy doing? I'm trying to remember what the boy's doing.
He's doing some homework, I think it was, or he's asking about a map.
Yeah, I think he was asking how to spell stuff.
Yeah. That's right. I think he was asking how to spell something.
I don't remember
the other boy
was younger, and I think he was just playing.
With stuff. He was just playing with stuff. I remember it was kind of cute because at one point, George comes home and he's all mad and everything, and he's tugging at his pant leg. He's saying, "Excuse me." It's like, "What am I excusing you for? I burped." It's like, that's literally my kids literally do that. They've gotta get my attention. I burped, and I'm like, I gotta acknowledge the fact that they said "excuse me." It was just cute and it's a funny moment.
But George gets pissed because Uncle Billy was supposed to take the money they made that day, I guess, to the bank to deposit.
$8,000.
$8,000, which is a big sum of money, I guess.
Well, back then, yeah, probably was.
And they have like an inspector coming that day too, which they need to prove that this bank was doing business right and they were making a profit and stuff. But as Uncle Billy goes to the bank, he brought it on himself. Let's just so he sees Mr. Potter, and Potter started to actually lose some influence in town because more people are doing business with George, who's been helping them out.
Yeah.
And like, you even see with Potter. Potter's talking to some other business people, and they're like, "Yeah, people would rather do business with George than with you." And this whole area, half the people in this whatever new development got there through Bailey's company.
Yeah.
And so Billy goes to rub it in the face of Mr. Potter, and he's got like an envelope in his pocket or whatever, or in his hands.
Yeah.
And he takes a newspaper to kind of show like the headlines, whatever, and he like, I don't know, touches Potter with it or something. But he loses the money in Potter's newspaper.
Yeah.
And then he goes to the teller with nothing, and he can't think of what he did with the money anymore. He retraces his step all the way back to the bank, starts losing his shit. Which I'm like, why did he never go to the police? I think they say he didn't want to. Well, make it public.
Yeah, they don't want to make it public. Plus, I think losing all that money. It said something about like it's the people's money that one of them would be arrested or something like that.
Yeah.
Because it's I don't remember how exactly, but yeah.
So yeah, now George is freaking out because he's got this guy literally waiting at his place to see the money.
Yeah, exactly.
And Billy's just in shambles. Like I said, like he lost his emotions immediately.
Yeah.
Whereas George is trying to keep some things together. Like he goes home and he's just completely like a zombie. This is eating him out in the back of his mind, and he goes home to the family and he's mad, but he can't really show it.
I thought it was actually pretty believable, like the way he's trying to hold it together. He's like trying to be in control because but he was mad at Billy. One of us is going to get arrested, and
he slaps him too, I think, right?
And it's not going to be me, he says to him. And then he gets home and you can see it's kind of like all these little things are like irritating him, like the girl on the piano, the kid tugging at his leg.
Even this drafty old house, and like he's insulting his house that she loved, like she wanted to live in it the whole time. So,
but like every little thing, when you're not in a good mood, when you're like scared or you got all that on your shoulders.
His youngest daughter got sick because she couldn't wear her sweater home. She got her sweater wet or something like that. But the teacher sent her home anyways. So they called the teacher. Or the teacher called them, and he gets on the line and starts yelling at the teacher, puts her husband on there, and he's like basically like tells him that he'll fight him anytime he sees him, whatever.
Yeah.
Which is how later he gets a busted lip, because after his family kind of like, you know what, you need to leave, you need to cool down or whatever's wrong with you.
Yeah.
He goes to the bar.
To Martinis.
Yeah, goes to Martinis, and he meets the husband of that teacher.
Yeah. Like, what's your name? Your name's George. What's your last name? Bailey. Oh, yeah, you're the guy that yelled at my wife or whatever he said.
Yeah, and then he kind of keeps wandering after that. He leaves the bar. Like, the people in the bar like him. Like, everyone in town really likes George except for that guy.
Well, who was it that said that? I think it was Mr. Potter that said that, you know, your business would be better off if you were dead because they would get insurance money or something like that. And that's kind of, I think it was just a little bug. He didn't really think about it then, and it kind of went in his ear, and then it got drinking and all that stuff. Yeah. And it built up in his head.
Because he went to Potter to try to get the money to cover that loan, but Potter's like, no, I'm not helping you. Or no, what, did he have to sign something away, or was that was early?
I think it was his mortgage or something, but it was only like worth $50 or something like that. But like, yeah, I'm not going to give you like $8,000 for a $50 mortgage.
Yeah, so what he tells him, he'd be worth more dead because he had a life insurance policy.
Yeah.
And then he kind of wanders. He crashes into a tree, and the guy's like, my grandfather planted this tree, and he's like, okay, whatever.
Just keeps walking.
Walks to the bridge, and then he's thinking about jumping. Like he doesn't say anything, but he's like standing on the edge of the bridge, looking over at the icy waters crashing below.
Yeah.
And that's when Clarence finally shows up. Mm-hmm. And as you said, Clarence jumps in before him to try and get him out of it. So George jumps in to save Clarence, and I was like, is there a bridge watchman or something? Like, what is that guy's job that he was like looking out the window to see them jump in and he lets them inside?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe there was like a boat port or something over there.
Well, I looked up, that was one of the things I was looking at on Wikipedia, that apparently he was just like there's a toll on that bridge.
Okay.
You never see it.
No, I know.
So,
okay.
So yeah, then Clarence and him get pulled out into this office to warm up, dry their clothes out and whatever. And Clarence starts telling him like all this strange stuff, including that he's an angel.
Yeah.
And they just think he's crazy.
Well, he takes off his shirt and he sees there's no wings. Where's your wings? If you're an angel, where's your wings? Well, I haven't earned mine yet.
Yeah, you don't earn your
That's
wings.
what I'm doing here, he's trying to tell him.
Yeah. And like there's stuff that's happening though, like his clothes just dry instantly after they've been out for like, I don't know, 5 minutes.
Yeah, I don't know what the amount of time frame was, but yeah, definitely.
And then Clarence is walking with him, and he's like, well, things would be better if I was never born. It's like, that gives an idea to Clarence. Like, I'll show you what your life would have been like if you weren't born.
Mm-hmm.
So he starts walking back the way we just saw him come.
Yeah.
That tree is fine.
Yeah, there's no damage to it.
There's no car there either.
Yeah.
His car's gone. That guy's that he got yelled at about his dad planting that tree. He's there, but he's like, I've never seen you before in my life.
Yeah. So all this stuff is the stuff that I was more familiar with that I expected to see maybe halfway through the movie at the very least, but it's like the last 20 minutes.
Like 3/4 of the way through the movie, I would say,
surprising.
at least before Clarence shows up.
And this is what makes it more of the Christmas movie is this whole part of the movie. I mean, there's snow flying everywhere, and they're singing. Did they sing Christmas carols already? Oh yeah, she's playing on the piano. Christmas carols. So yeah, it's through Christmas music happening. But yeah, and then he's like. There's also other things that he's saying too. Like he knows who he is, and he knows he's married to Mary. He knows his first name and his last name, and he knows everybody. He's like, how do you know all this stuff about me?
Lost his hearing by jumping in to save his brother. You know, all that stuff.
Yeah, this is just some sort of a trick you're playing on me or something.
Yeah, but they go back to the bar, and he wants to see Martini, but it's not Martini's bar because George wasn't there to give him the bar, and they see the old shopkeeper that he worked for as a kid when he was like whatever, and he's just like. A shambling old man. Apparently, he was convicted of murder for doing that because George wasn't there to
stop him from the pills,
from delivering the poison.
Yeah, and he was like a homeless man. He's like, get out of here. Nick, the owner of the bar at that time.
And even Nick's like, how do you know my name? Because he never met George before.
Yeah, exactly. Nobody has met George, but yet George knows all these people.
And that's also where you like. I think he hits the cash register, and that's where Clarence says, "You hear that? A bell." It's like. Every time a bell rings, an angel gets his wings.
Yeah.
And the bartender's like, look, I'm making wings. He starts hitting the sale button over and over and over.
How many angels are getting wings tonight?
Yeah. And then they go back to the house because he's like now getting kind of freaked out that some of the stuff seems true. He's like, well, let's go and see Mary. Mm-hmm. I'll go home and see Mary. And as he's making his way through the town, he sees like, things have changed.
Yeah.
And there's a line in there where I've heard it before, and like, because they did his voice wherever I heard this, I can't remember where it was, but wherever I heard this, it sounded like Jimmy Stewart, and to see it in the movie, and it said "Merry Christmas, movie house." Oh, he says that, and then which he does that in this movie, and I was like, oh, okay, so it is from It's a Wonderful Life. But up until this point, we've never been to the movie house, so that's why I was confused about where that came from.
And I'll say this whole part where you notice that the town has changed and it's like about gambling and alcohol and all that stuff. Yeah. It definitely reminds me of Back to the Future 2. Yeah. When Biff gave himself the almanac, the sports almanac, and he created his own future in 1985, and everything was all about like gambling and like it was definitely more about debauchery and he was kind of like Trump basically is what he was in 1985, and that's kind of what reminded me of is the alternate version of the world.
I don't see how George affected a lot of that.
I guess because he wasn't giving the money to the townsfolk, and so they went to Potter, and Potter had more money. Potter had more pull, was able to do whatever he wanted with the town. But it also reminded me of Walking Tall. Like when The Rock comes back to town, like the gambling, the big casino is the one basically running the town now instead of the lumber mill.
But you would think some of these people, if they were good people or whatever, would have left. Like there's a policeman that's still the same. The taxi driver's the same. Violet's still there. Yeah. All these people are all still there. No one moved. They all like, nah, we're gonna live here, even though it's a pretty bad place. Mm-hmm. But anyways, he goes home to Mary, and he goes to the house he thinks he lives in. Yeah. And that's where so she's not there, and it's still just a decrepit old building that was abandoned. But the taxi he was in had the cop follow them there. Yeah. And they try to arrest him because they think he's crazy. Yeah. And Clarence actually gets involved, and he tackles the cop. As I wrote down here, I like the idea of an angel biting a cop because he bites the cop.
He does. And then the cop tackles him and tries to handcuff him, and he's just like, and then he just disappears, and he's like wrestling nothing. He's like, where'd you go?
That was an okay transition.
Yeah, I like that.
Of all the bad ones, this one actually looks good.
Mm-hmm.
But Clarence sends him away. He goes to his mom.
Yeah, he went to what was originally like his house that he grew up in, where his mom lived. Yeah. And he was never born, and his brother obviously had died. Which is weird.
Like, so he had no pull in taking his brother to the
like a lot of these things, you think that maybe wouldn't exactly this would have happened. Like, would the shopkeeper did the poison thing without George have never worked there in the first place? I guess that still would have happened, and I guess Harry still would have went to the water. And
Mary didn't marry anyone. Like, he eventually finds Mary, and Mary's like this. What do they call them?
You said an old maid.
Basically,
called her an old maid. And she never married. She goes to the library.
Whereas I have on here, like, Mary still looks fine, even as an old maid. She was still good looking.
Yeah. She's a nerd now. She goes to the library. Ugh.
But yeah, like, the movie feels more like a nightmare fantasy than a Christmas film.
Yeah.
Like, all this bad stuff that happens to him, and then you see like this, his nightmares. Like, things are even worse if he didn't suffer all those things.
Yeah.
But yeah, so. What does he do? I'm trying to remember the point that he goes to when eventually it turns it around on him, and he goes back to the real timeline.
Oh yeah, what makes him like realize that he's better off in the actual timeline, and being born? Yeah, he definitely did help all these people.
Yeah, what was the moment that does that? I can't remember what it is.
Oh shit! Yeah, no, I should have wrote that down. The thing that actually like does that exactly too. I can't remember what it is. Yeah. I wish I'd seen this movie more than once.
I think he's looking for Clarence after the fact, and Clarence isn't there, but he's like, he kind of says out to the air that he's like, oh, I'm sorry, like, I don't know, I guess he feels like he wants his life back. I'm sorry, I want like my old life back and whatever.
Yeah.
And then he kind of just finds out that, his life is back to normal. He's back on that bridge.
He went back to the bridge, and that's when he realizes it, because, the police
shows up, and he thinks that they're after him because they still think he's crazy in the alternate timeline.
Yeah.
But they're just actually there because everyone's worried about him.
Yeah.
He disappeared. People saw him walking, being drunk and stuff.
Yeah.
And then he comes home and hugs his family. The bank guy, who I don't know what that guy's job was, but that bank guy's there, like to confront him with the money and stuff. Mm-hmm. But then all the townspeople, all his friends and family show up, and they just start donating to him. They give him like all this money.
Yeah.
He gets a call from his rich friend who's like in London. He gives him. I want to say it was 25,000. Like, he had a credit for 25,000.
I thought it was 8,000. I thought he gave him the amount of money that he needed. Well, exactly.
I think he had 8,000 immediately, but up to 25,000 if you want. I think it was, but I could be wrong about that.
Yeah, that was Sam that we previously mentioned before. That was gonna date what's her face? Mary.
They had that big basket, and honestly, it doesn't look that big. Like, the basket looks too big for the amount of money in there. Mm-hmm. But then they start throwing more.
More people come in and they throw more money on the table as well too as they come in.
And then you get that classic little line with the girl sitting on. I think it's his daughter, who's sick daughter, is sitting on his shoulder. Yeah. She's like, you hear the ding of a bell. It's like, every time a bell rings, an angel gets its wings.
Teacher says every time.
And then he had those two pedals. What does he call Vera? Something's pedal. His daughter's name's like Vera.
It was like Sissy or something, or. I think it was a weird name.
It was a weird name. It was not a classic name like you'd think with everyone else.
Yeah.
Like George and Mary and Harry.
Exactly.
It was something different.
Like Tommy was one of the kids' names. That's a normal name.
Yeah.
And the young girl was like, I swear it was like Sissy. Something like that.
And that's just how the movie ends, basically. Like,
I'll say like another movie that's very similar to this. It follows the same kind of idea, but it almost reverses things a little bit. Is The Family Man. I don't know if you've ever seen The Family Man.
I've heard of it. I'm trying to remember who's in it.
Nicolas Cage is the main character.
I thought so.
He's the guy, so for him, it was, he was younger, he was dating Tay Leone, and they were, engaged to get married, and then he got into the business side of things, and he got to liking being a businessman, and he never ended up marrying her, and then one day he meets an angel, and most of the movie is him in his alternate reality. And so he actually goes to see what his life would have been had he stayed with Tay Leone, had he had a family, had he lived in the suburbs rather than be this big mogul, rich man who's not really happy. He's there because this is the life that he thought money was what he needed. He thought money was going to make him happy, but it turns out family is what makes him happy. And having Tay Leone as his wife, and so I like that one kind of flips the script a little bit. And it's actually a really good movie too. So if you haven't seen it, I would say watch that one too. And there is an angel as well too. Don Cheadle is an angel. I don't know if he's trying to get his wings or anything, but he's in that as well too. And so I knew that one more familiar than this one. So that's why I thought this one would have more of the alternate reality, exactly, because I've seen that movie.
There's hardly any, like 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes tops of alternate reality stuff in this.
They definitely could have stretched that part. They could have shortened the first part of the movie and stretched that part out more, I think. But I did like what I saw in this movie.
Before seeing it, my impression was that the movie was like pretty much mostly going through, kind of like how A Christmas Carol is going through these different moments of Scrooge's life, whether it's the past, present, or future.
Yeah.
But yeah, that the Christmas Carol is like mostly, I would say it's like 2/3 of the movie is based on that. Mm-hmm. This is like 1/3 at best, probably less.
Yeah.
And I found out that the guy who wrote the story for It's a Wonderful Life actually based a lot of that off of Christmas Carol. Like there's some elements.
Oh yeah, you can totally see it for sure.
But one thing that kind of bothered me about the movie is the moral of the story seemed to be that, like, even if you have a hard life, you should still be thankful if you just squeak by. Because he made it that day, and I'm like, all his friends and family that come and help him that day.
Yeah.
How come they're not there more often doing nice things for him? Like, no one else. His brother never took over the business. I get it saying like be thankful. Like sure, his wife, his kids, and all that stuff. But it's like the guy never even got to go on his honeymoon.
Yeah, exactly.
That feels kind of shitty. Like he should at least get to travel once. Like
your whole life you're stuck in this one town. Yeah.
And you want to get out. It's okay if you're stuck and you didn't really care.
Exactly.
But you're stuck and it's like the one thing you wanted your whole life. For sure.
Yeah.
So
definitely, he's always trying to reach for the stars, but he never gets to get there. He never gets there. It's unfortunate in that sense. So I guess that's kind of our rundown of the movie. Next, we like to do reviews that we found online. So we do the online review thing. And I like to do people from Letterboxd, which is just random people's reviews, whether they liked it or they're not. He does the more professional reviews, the people that are they get paid to do this sort of thing. I'll start with my Letterboxd reviews maybe first, and then we'll go to the more professional stuff. So this person said, I thought this film was going to be about ghosts or something. They gave it half a star.
Ghosts.
Did you think it was A Christmas Carol?
Well, maybe they thought that Clarence was supposed to be a ghost.
Maybe. I think they completely missed the point of the movie if that's what they thought this movie was going to be about, and they only gave it a half a star. I think you're a dumbass. This person, clearly the movie didn't convey its message enough because my mom loves this but still voted for Donald Trump.
Okay.
I just thought that was so dumb that they put that in their review. A half a star for that, by the way. They didn't like it. This one is a better review, something like this one. This film is a testament to the hypnotic powers that all great classics possess. Every time I watch this, I want to call my mom and tell her that I love her. Call my mate that I haven't seen for a long time to grab a beer. It makes me want to go outside and hand out smiles to everyone I meet. It turns me into the biggest optimistic sap you'll ever see, and I love it for that. And I kind of got the feels from this movie too when I was watching it. It did give me kind of a positive.
A little bit, yeah.
Mood. I was definitely I was feeling the vibes of it. I haven't never seen this and kind of knowing what it was about. I definitely felt a little bit of that. So this last one that was 5 stars, by the way. This is another 5-star review. How can a movie I've watched for 30 years, every year, multiple times, some years, how can a movie like that still cause me to tear up at the end? I know what happens. I've seen it before. That, my friends, is quality filmmaking. So this person definitely has watched it their whole lives and obviously has that kind of nostalgic feel for it. But I get it. I definitely don't have that much of a sentiment to it, but I did enjoy this movie.
So mine, like you said, I get the professional ones. I get them from Metacritic usually if I can. So this one I got it from Metacritic as well. On Metacritic, It's a Wonderful Life has a score of 89. That's out of 100, based on 17 critic reviews. So some of the other ones we did, older films are harder to get. Like we did 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. Yeah. I think that was 9 or maybe 6. I can't remember. So I pulled 3, and I kind of picked 3 that kind of I feel give you an impression of what the movie's like, even if I don't agree with it or whatever. Like as long as I know where they're coming from. Yeah. So from Empire, although peppered with colorful, sharply drawn characters, this is Stewart's movie. Instantly lovable as a small-town dreamer who sacrifices everything for others, his journey to despair and back warms the cockles like little else. Enjoy it in a cinema so you can sob among others. score of 100 of 100. The perfect score.
Okay.
So yeah, it's definitely Jimmy Stewart's movie. Like,
Yeah.
It focuses on him.
Like I said, I think he's in every single scene. I don't think there's a scene.
Well, there's a couple of
that
scenes
happens.
where you see Uncle Billy at the bank with Mr. Potter.
I guess, yeah.
And there's some stuff with Mr. Potter when he
True, when he's on the phone and stuff and he's
Yeah.
talking to, you only see him. True. But he's not very far away at any time in any even scene.
And then from Salon, my next one. Salon, I don't care what your parents told you. It's a Wonderful Life. That reassuring holiday spectacle is really the most terrifying Hollywood film ever made. It's one of a handful of masterpieces directed by Frank Capra, an Italian immigrant who loved America because America saved him. Score of 100 of 100.
Oh.
So terrifying in
Yeah.
a different sense.
Terrifying, in a good way.
What your life would be like without it. But I picked that one specifically because Frank Capra, they mentioned him, that he was an Italian immigrant. I have no idea about Frank Capra at all.
No.
But I think that's probably why Mr. Martini has, towards the second half of the film, he gets a bigger role.
Yeah.
He comes out of nowhere. You just see them moving him into a house with his
exactly
12 kids or whatever.
Wasn't a character
And
until way later in the movie. Yeah.
And then, he's going to the bar later on in the alternate universe when he's like, where's Mr. Martini? He's like,
Yeah.
So I think he kind of drew upon his own experiences in America
Possibly.
to make that character. And finally, from the New Republic, Capra is an old-time movie craftsman, the master of every trick in the bag, and in many ways he is more at home with the medium than any other Hollywood director. But all of his details give the impression of contrived effect. To make his points, he always takes an easy, simple-minded path that doesn't give much credit to the intelligence of the audience. Score of 40 of 100. So this is the lowest one. There was only really one negative one. I do agree with him that I found that a lot of the stuff, it kind of felt simple, like the little things that went bad, him and Mary, for example, as much as things kind of got in the way between them, they still got together because they just happened to be close together.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of thing, all that stuff, he saw the poison in that place, and just little simple things. It wasn't really convoluted. It was all pretty straightforward.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was. It was definitely a little more basic and more simplistic in that sense.
I don't know if I'd rate that low because of it. The audience's intelligence. I don't think it makes you question your intelligence. But
no, I don't think so. And one thing, I probably should have done this first. Actually, we should have probably done the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Yeah, we
should have
usually
done that first. But we'll do that right now before we do our review. So we'll do the good, the bad, and the ugly. We'll start with yours. So what's something that stood out for you that you liked?
I thought, as a film about George Bailey, it's a straightforward story. His life is interesting in itself.
Yeah.
As a Christmas movie, maybe not so much. But I like that it was really focused on him. This felt more I don't know if I don't say biopic, but I mean, if you wanted to have a biopic with someone, this is what it feels like. It's focused on the person. You get to see his life, what he went through. It feels like that. You're learning about one person's journey through life.
It does. Yeah, it does jump him as a kid, and then it jumps to him when he's in his late teens, and then him as in his late 20s and then 30s.
Yeah, but it's really supposed to be these formative moments to see this one part of the aspect of the character, about how he overcomes this final trial that he goes through in life. But I like that it was his life. It was nice to have that center. I like that.
It's a wonderful life that he had. My good is honestly the way it did make me feel. I liked this movie, and it did kind of warm my insides, almost like a warm hot cup of cocoa, hot chocolate. It felt like a Christmas movie near the end of the movie. It definitely didn't for the most part of the movie, but I did get that sense at the end, and I did get that warm feeling, and I like that about this movie.
So then for the bads, I'll say those cuts I mentioned earlier, those sudden cuts. Some of them are just kind of awkward and bad in a way, and others aren't so bad, but you just notice them, that things are slightly askew, or that took another crack at that scene type of thing. Which, like I said, you notice it, and it's sometimes okay, whatever. It's not terrible, but I mean, it's probably the worst part of it. As a film, it's probably the worst part of it, I think.
My bad is, I can't really say it's that bad, but it's definitely of its time. Something that I would change now is just the black maid, having her be so stereotypically like Aunt Jemima sort of, and even like I said, even like there was like I don't know if he was a conductor or he just worked for the train. The black dude there was like in the suit. I feel like that's the only roles they gave these black people. It's like they could have given a little more substance. Really.
I mean, yeah, I don't like to see that, but I mean, as a time capsule of the period.
I know, I get
I'm like, okay,
it just seeing it through the 2025 eyes,
yeah.
You notice it. That's all it was. It's not that bad, but it is something you notice.
Yeah. And then the Uglies. It's not a Christmas movie. That's what bothered me the whole time. This is not a Christmas movie. I mean, obviously at the end, they're having Christmas, they're in his house and everything, but that could all happen at any other time of the year. Nothing that happens on the Christmas day or whatever needs to happen on Christmas. It could happen any other time. That bothered me the whole time. It's not, like we say that ugly is not really like just something bad, so we already have bad. It's like distracting or something that just rubs you the wrong way kind of thing. And that, the whole time in the back of my head, sitting here, knowing this is supposed to be a Christmas movie, it doesn't really have Christmas in it until like the last 10 minutes or 20 minutes of the movie. That kind of bothered me.
I'll say the Family Man movie that I mentioned prior definitely is way more of a Christmas movie. It is set during Christmas time in December, and there's a lot of like Christmas music, and it is very Christmassy, that movie. But my ugly for this one, it's not a bad thing. My ugly is going to be a standout thing. It's a standout moment that I thought was just fun, and I wanted more answers. Was the animals in Uncle Billy's office? Like he's got a monkey. I swear that there was a monkey in the cage there. How does he have these animals? And what does he do when he's not at work? Are they just living in his office?
I'm assuming he's not married because you never see an ant.
No, I don't think so.
So he's probably just living with all these animals.
I just thought it definitely stood out, and I thought it was a cute, funny little moment. I just wanted a little bit of answers as to how he has all these animals. That was funny. Then let's go to our reviews, I guess. So what we thought of the movie.
Yeah, I do think, even though it's light on the Christmas, like I do think this is a good movie, like a very heartwarming movie. If you watch it, like you should appreciate it more for George Bailey's story than for a Christmas story. And as that kind of story, the way that I'm looking at it, I gave that an 8 out of 10. I liked it quite a lot. I don't know if I would sit here and watch it every year in Christmas. It's not that kind of movie for me.
Yeah.
But having watched it at least once, I'm like, I can appreciate this. I see why people will love it so much.
Yeah.
But it's not, like, to me, a holiday tradition film because it's not connected to the holiday. But it's a great film.
And I'm gonna agree with you. I don't think like that it doesn't feel that much like a Christmas movie that I need to watch every year. I could watch it maybe 3 or 4 years down the line and watch it again. I did enjoy it. I had a good time with it, and I understand why it's so revered. So myself, I'm gonna give it an 8.5. I did, like I said, it did give me the warm feels at the end of the movie. It did have that Christmas feel finally near the end. And as a movie itself, I just like the morality of it, the story. It was a good family movie to watch.
One thing I think we should both point out, because we had the option, we got it on Blu-ray, but we had the option of watching it in the color version as well.
Yeah.
But we both watched it black and white.
Yeah.
Perhaps watching it in color would slightly tweak that experience. I don't know.
I don't know if it'd be for the better or not.
Yeah, so that's what we're going to say here, just to make sure. Here, you watch the color version, you're like, it wasn't quite as good as these guys made it out to be, or maybe it was even better. Well, we watched the black and white, so we can't.
Like something I wonder, like if you're watching the color version, the snow. I know some of it was real, but I know that there's a couple of scenes where the snow is falling, and it's not real snow. It's foam. Man. There was a new way of doing snow in movies. They used to do like cornflakes, I guess, is what they used to do. Okay. White cornflakes. And so this movie was the first movie they actually had like foam for like firefighters, and that's what they had. And you could tell like the way it kind of like lands in there, and it kind of like melts. And it doesn't quite look right. But I was just wondering, like, if you saw it in color, would it be that much more noticeable? Like even like the actual snow that is on the ground, like, it would be. Would it look the wrong color? I'm just curious. I don't know.
Yeah.
Not sure. But that's it for It's a Wonderful Life, a movie that we both never seen before, but we both seem to enjoy. Yeah. We do have another Christmas movie coming out this year. You want to say what it is?
Yeah, Emmett Otter's Jug Band Christmas.
Yeah.
Jim Henson production, I guess.
Yeah.
Yes. Muppet. Well, it's not Kermit's in there. There's one Muppet.
Yeah. I guess it would be considered in the Muppet realm. It's got a Muppet in it.
Yeah. So another Christmas movie, even though it does say Christmas in the title.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then I guess where to find us.
Where you can find us? Well, you can find me on YouTube and a bunch of different places, like I said, Letterboxd, on TikTok, Twitch, and all places as CountryBoy9er, or you can find me as CountryBoy_9 if you can't find me as CountryBoy9er, and you can find him.
Yeah, I am on Twitch. I'll be playing stuff from time to time. Currently, I'm playing Ghost of Yote. Hopefully, I'll be finished sometime soon. Like maybe by the time you see this, might be done. Or I'll be playing something else. You know, I got a whole bunch of different stuff I play. But if I'm not on, you can always find my videos on YouTube. The Lewis Lightning. It's all one word, and it's the same username as on Twitch. You can find me there.
And you can find both of us again on another channel with another friend of ours named Muskeg, where we review and we do a bunch of talking about, not just reviews, we do talking about video games, movies, TV shows, comic books, food, music, whatever you could think of. We've talked about it on that show. We have a lot of fun doing that, so check that out as well too. We have lots of fun.
Wasted Opinions, 2 words.
Yes, Wasted Opinions, yeah, 2 separate words. Yeah. And yeah, that's going to do it for this one, I guess.
Yeah. Merry Christmas, movie house!
Did you hear that? A bell rang. That Clarence.
That's what it was. He took a cab ride.
See, yeah, it reminded me. Son of a bitch.
That's all it is.
That's right.
Oh, if I want to say Beer City, I mean the other way.
Oh, yeah. Gotta eat, drink
left-handed.
These Coke vanillas are quite delicious.
Is it just like the regular vanilla Coke? Because a lot of people are saying that it's just...
I think it is. I don't know why maybe they just wanted to sell more, make it more Christmassy, but yeah, it's... It definitely tastes. Mine's the Coke Zero though, so I couldn't tell you.
Yeah, and that'll be in the credits. We'll put that in there.
Yeah, it's good. If you never had the Coke Zero whipped cream one, vanilla, whatever it's called,
well,
it's quite good.
Make the background just start like morphing to Coca-Cola.
Advertising. Maybe we'll get some more. Maybe some sponsors. We get some people watching our channel.